Let's go to Norman first. He's calling us from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Norman, thanks for joining us on the Diane Rehm Show.
Well, thank you for being there. You are my favorite substitute to Ms. Rehm.
Well, thank you.
I'm, both leading candidates, both Gingrich and Romney, have some serious baggage that they would have to take to the campaign, and I have my opinions. I'm just wondering who you all feel and would the Democrats rather face?
Now, Norman, we're going to put that question to the panel, but tell me who you think the Democrats would prefer to face.
I think they would prefer to face Gingrich, and I've got my traditional $5 with one of my close friends. We decide, that what we're gonna bet on. We never collect. I am saying that Romney that Gingrich would lose worse than McGovern.
Oh, all right, Norman, thanks for your call. Gregory, what's your sense of who the White House would prefer to win the Republican nomination?
My guess is that they would prefer Gingrich did, because notwithstanding the fact that he obviously does score well on several fronts with the Republican base, he's a very polarizing figure. I mean, this is a guy who shut the government down back in '96 and handed a gigantic political victory to Clinton. And then there's the elephant in the room, the temperament question. The thing about Gingrich, and Gene and Cynthia actually have got their personal histories with the man that speak to this better than I can. You never know what he's going to say next or how he's going to react. And that's why now that the spotlight is on him so intensively, it'll be interesting to see how he responds. Well,
in fact, just yesterday he talked about poor children in a way that offended some people. Cynthia, tell us what he said.
He has said several things, Susan, about poor children lately that are offensive. But he has continued this stream of suggesting that child labor laws should be stricken and poor children sent to work. That child labor laws keep them from apprenticeships, and that they could be put to work, say, in public schools as janitors, replacing all those unionized janitors. He has a wonderful, colorful history, wherein he spews about 100 different ideas per minute, or certainly per hour. About 5 of those ideas are interesting, perhaps even useful. The other 95 are harebrained, ridiculous, polarizing ideas. And so I have to get around to Greg, to agreeing with Greg. I would guess that the White House would prefer to face Gingrich than Romney.
I sat down with Newt Gingrich 2 weeks ago in Florida for an interview, and Gene, he said that he had made a lot of mistakes in his past, including during the time he was leading the House and negotiating with then President Clinton, but that he had learned a lot of lessons and he was different in some fundamental ways, so that some of the mistakes he made in the past weren't ones he would repeat. Do you think that's the case from what you've seen of him on the campaign trail this year?
Well, everybody benefits from mistakes, and I'm, the former speaker is no different than anyone else. He certainly probably has learned some lessons. I think in this campaign he has shown more discipline than those of us who covered him back in the 1990s are accustomed to seeing. I do think that in his history of relationships, he is twice divorced. This is his third marriage. It does appear that this marriage is more stable. So I think that he has learned some lessons. And in terms of who the White House might want to face, it's obvious the White House thought they were going to face Romney. They've been running ads against Romney, and they've been building their campaign narrative around the run against Romney. And Gingrich is unpredictable. And so if they are hoping for Gingrich, they might want to be careful what they wish for. Yes, he has huge liabilities, but he's also interesting, and he could rally the base because he's willing to fight in a way that I think Republican activists right now want to see a real fight with Obama, and they don't see that in Romney, and that's one of the things about Romney that they don't like.